as a Black woman, you're the minority. And it's okay. You have learned how to, make friends in all different circles from all walks of life. And that's one thing that I'm proud of you about. And you're not afraid to speak up for yourself, which you should not be. He's going to have to learn to deal with Black women. And if this is his first lesson, then let that be it.
The truth about Kandi Burruss and her daughter Riley will shock you. From the outside, everything looked perfect. A Grammy-winning mother. A daughter raised in the spotlight. Red carpets. Luxury homes. Reality TV fame. But behind those smiles there was pain. A pain we're only now beginning to understand. You see, Riley Burruss has been on our screens since she was just a little girl, quietly standing beside her mother on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Back then, she was the shy, soft-spoken kid in the background while Kandi built her empire. But Riley was growing. And growing up in the public eye isn't easy. For years, we saw the glam. We saw the vacations, the designer clothes, the sweet mother-daughter moments. But we didn't see the loneliness Riley says she felt. We didn't see how much she craved time with her mom, just the two of them. Not cameras.
I'm supporting from afar, and my daughter Riley is going to be on a new show coming to Bravo, Next Gen. They just announced it last week. Yeah, so I hope you guys support my daughter Riley Burruss. Y'all seen her grow up on the Real Housewives, and now she's going to be on a new show. It's coming June 3rd, so check her out.
What tips did you give her about entering? Obviously she's a part of reality television in the past, but to a different level.
Yeah, it's a different level, and so I told her, when you're filming, stand on everything you say. Don't ever go back and try to act like you didn't say something so they can rewind the tape on you.
Roll the tape.
You have to own it, stand on it. And if you need to apologize, but don't lie about saying stuff.
Absolutely.
Because we be having a lot of liars on those shows, we don't want to be, no.
No.
Not rehearsals. Not studio sessions. And now that Riley has graduated from NYU in May 2024, instead of celebrating in silence, she decided to speak. And what she said left fans divided. In a calm and respectful tone, Riley opened up in an interview about what it really felt like being Kandi Burruss's daughter. And it wasn't all red carpets and praise. Riley said she admired her mother's hustle, but that it often came at a cost. Time. Presence. Peace. She said she often felt like she had to share her mom with the world. And that one-on-one time, those quiet, bonding moments became more and more rare as Kandi's fame grew. She never said Kandi was a bad mom. But the message was clear: she felt left behind sometimes. But that wasn't all. Riley also opened up about the pressure. Being the child of a celebrity came with privilege, sure. But it also came with people judging her, assuming she didn't earn anything, that everything was handed to her. Riley said she felt like she had to prove herself constantly at school, in public, even in private. That's a lot for a young woman to carry. And then came the biggest surprise: Riley changed her major. She started college studying nutrition, but later switched to music business. And instantly, people assumed Kandi had pushed her to follow in her footsteps. But Riley shut that down quickly. She said it wasn't about copying her mom. It was about finding her own way in the world. Her own voice. Her own path. That's when the rumors started flying. Right after the interview dropped, whispers began circulating that Riley was about to launch her own reality show, making it in Manhattan. People started wondering, was this whole interview part of a publicity strategy? Was it real or just reality TV? The internet exploded. Some fans praised Riley for being vulnerable and honest. Others called her ungrateful. And some accused her of airing private family business for attention. But then came the twist that no one saw coming. Kandi responded. And she didn't come with anger. No clapbacks. No shade. Just love. Kandi said she was proud of Riley. That she respected her daughter's strength. And most importantly, she admitted she hadn't been perfect. She acknowledged the challenges of balancing motherhood with a massive career. And that honesty? That vulnerability? It reminded people why they loved Kandi in the first place. Still, people couldn't help but wonder, why now? Why did Riley choose to speak at this exact moment? Just as her own show was about to premiere? Was it a coincidence or was it strategic? Here's the truth, Riley isn't hiding anymore. For the first time, she's stepping into the spotlight for herself. Not as Kandi's daughter. Not as the quiet kid in the background. But as a woman with her own voice, her own dreams, and her own story to tell. Making it in Manhattan isn't just a spin-off. It's a statement. Riley is building something from the ground up, documenting her journey from college graduate to future music executive. No big-name co-stars. No overproduced drama. Just Riley, showing the world who she really is. And guess what? People are watching. But that spotlight comes with pressure. Fans started comparing her to other reality star kids, Gia Giudice, Brooks Marks. Some said Riley had the most potential. Others said she needed more personality. But Riley isn't chasing followers. She's not trying to be an influencer. She's focused on the business side of music, the deals, the contracts, the moves behind the scenes. It's quiet power. And it's smart. And here's what's wild, Kandi taught her that. Kandi, the queen of strategy, has always known how to create moments, build brands, and protect her legacy. Now it looks like Riley's doing the same. But just when you thought this story couldn't get any deeper, another twist came out. Behind the scenes, whispers started swirling that Kandi's recent decision to step away from Real Housewives of Atlanta wasn't just about new projects. Some insiders say Kandi chose to walk away because of growing tension between her career and her family's needs. Could Riley's interview have been the final push? We may never know the full truth. But what we do know is this. Riley's stepping into her power. She's telling her story raw, honest, and unfiltered. And even though it's causing waves, it's also sparking conversation about what it really means to grow up in the spotlight. About the cost of fame. About the sacrifices mothers make. And about the courage it takes for daughters to finally speak. So now, the question is no longer why did Riley speak? The real question is, are we ready to listen? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you believe Riley's heart was in the right place? Or was this all part of a carefully planned rollout? And what do you think about Kandi's response? Let's talk about it, because this one hit deeper than expected. And trust me, this story is just getting started. Kandi Burruss has always been known as the woman who could do it all. Grammy Awards. Businesses. TV shows. But in one rare, emotional moment during an interview, she admitted something many didn't expect: being a mother was the hardest role she's ever had. That one confession made headlines. But for her daughter Riley, it did something even more powerful. It opened a door. Riley said she didn't realize how emotional it would be to finally speak her truth. Sharing how she truly felt about growing up in the spotlight, often feeling alone, unseen, and stuck in the shadow of her mother's success wasn't easy. But it was necessary. It made me stop and really think, Riley shared. It helped me grow. And just like that, what started as a quiet conversation became a turning point, not just for Riley, not just for Kandi, but for their entire family. Fans were stunned. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was real. This wasn't reality TV drama. This was real-life reflection. Kandi, a powerhouse who's always represented strength, drive, and hustle, was now showing a different kind of courage, honesty. As the news spread, people started to realize this wasn't just another social media moment or some scripted storyline. This was the beginning of a major change in the Burruss family's story. For years, Kandi was the face, the name, the center of attention. But now Riley was stepping forward. Not to take her mother's place, but to take her own. And she didn't do it loudly. She did it with grace. Quiet confidence. Riley wasn't trying to attack anyone. She wasn't blaming her mother. She was simply sharing her truth. A truth that so many children of busy parents could relate to. And that's why her words hit so deeply. People started opening up in the comments. Viewers wrote about their own experiences growing up with parents who loved them but were often too busy to show up for the small things. Riley's voice became a mirror, reflecting stories that had never been told. She gave space to people who always felt like background characters in their own families. And through all of it, Kandi responded the only way a strong mother could, with love and humility. She didn't get defensive. She didn't make it about her. Instead, she thanked Riley for being honest. She said it made their bond even stronger. And that quiet moment between them? That was more powerful than any dramatic scene. For fans who've watched them for over a decade on Real Housewives of Atlanta, it was emotional. We saw Riley grow up. We saw the good times and the tough times. But now, we were seeing something even more meaningful: real growth, off camera, off script, and straight from the heart. And here's the twist no one expected: instead of causing a divide, Riley's truth brought them closer. It didn't tear the family apart. It pulled them together. Riley was no longer just Kandi's daughter. She was her own woman now. Speaking up. Standing tall. And for the first time, fully in control of her own story. Her show Making It in Manhattan became more than just a series about her life. It was a symbol. A message. She wasn't hiding in the background anymore. She was center stage, not because of fame, but because she earned it. And people were paying attention. As each episode aired, we saw a new side of Riley. Not the quiet girl from childhood, but a young woman who was smart, witty, focused, and honest. She opened up about her career goals, the ups and downs of relationships, and her personal struggles. She didn't pretend to be perfect. She didn't act like she had it all figured out. But she was real, and that's what made her stand out. And through it all, Kandi was still there. Supporting her. Cheering her on. But this time from the sidelines. Not leading. Not controlling. Just watching her daughter shine. It took years to get to this point. Years of growing, learning, hurting, and healing. But they made it. And now, they're writing a new chapter together. In the end, this isn't just a story about Riley coming of age. It's about an entire family evolving. It's about what happens when love is stronger than ego. When honesty replaces silence. When parents and children choose to grow, not apart but side by side. The Burruss family reminded us that sometimes, truth can shake the ground, but it can also rebuild something stronger. And for Riley, this isn't the end, it's the beginning. She's no longer standing in anyone's shadow. She's walking into her own light. So now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Riley was wrong for sharing those personal feelings? Or was she simply finding her voice like so many of us wish we could? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have a real conversation. And if you think this story is finished, think again. Because Riley Burruss is just getting started. And trust me, everyone's watching now.